Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is officially season. Hopefully I can find a soundbite for that, or you're just gonna hear my really off-key singing, so sorry just in case. But it is the perfect time to finally read one of my most highly anticipated releases, and that is Mate by Miss Allie Hazelwood. If you don't know, this is the sequel to Bride, also by Allie Hazelwood, obviously. And I'm pretty sure this follows her best friend and then the alpha of another pack in the area. So vampires, werewolves, we love to see it. I think she's a werewolf human hybrid. So I don't know how much vampire we're gonna get in this, but I am very, very, very excited for this. However, first things first, we're going to have to go to Barnes & Noble's. And I know you're wondering why. You already have the book in hand. This is the book they sent me. Bent, torn, and what's worse, I made a TikTok about this. The mailer that this copy came in, pristine condition. So this was ripped prior to going into the bag, into the mail. It wasn't damaged on the way to me. No. It was damaged when it was in their possession. They still sent this shit to me. So irritated. So I've got to go process a return for this. We're returning it. I did buy the Barnes & Noble edition, which is purple. However, that one's not coming till Tuesday, which sucks. So we're going to go to Barnes. We're going to see. I'm pretty sure they would have the standard edition too, right? Because I don't want to have to buy a second Barnes & Noble edition. Is that dumb? Would they not have the standard edition as well? I might be buying a second copy of the Barnes & Noble edition. I might just be returning the one that's coming to me because they've already shipped it, so I can't like cancel the order now. But originally it said it was going to be her Thursday, which was yesterday, and then it updated to Tuesday, and I'm not willing to wait that long. Sorry, no. But I want to get into this, so we need to go out and grab that. I probably need to make myself a little coffee before we go because I'm in the coffee mood. I want something. Give me a little pick me up in the morning to up my spirits because of this bullshit. Where else could I go to get a copy that isn't the Barnes & Noble copy around me? Because unfortunately, I think Barnes & Noble, I could go to Walmart. I don't like going to Walmart. One, it's out of the way, and it's really, really crowded like all the fucking time. What's the other place? Oh, that was Books A Million. I hope they still have the Books A Million edition available when I go to Florida, because I'm going in like, I don't know, a month or two, hopefully. Because that one seems really nice, and it's another edition that I don't have. And yeah, I'm willing to buy multiple editions. I don't care. I love this. Well, I don't know if I love this book, but I love the first book. But anyways, so many people have already started and finished this. They seem to love it. They say the banter in this is great. And I do tend to really like the banter in Allie Hazelwood books. I will say Bride was my first ever 5-star from her. I think everything else I'd given like a 3-4 star. But I feel like I've been slowly liking more of her stuff. I don't know if when I originally read it, if I just like wasn't in the mood, I wasn't in like the headspace for an Allie Hazelwood, so I wasn't vibing with it. I do know for the first book I read by her was Love Hypothesis, and I didn't like it. Well, I liked it, but I started reading it right after I had read The Spanish Love Deception. Hated that book. And the main characters in both of these books kind of have the same sort of personalities, like the quirky, girl. I think this girl's name's Olive, maybe the other one's named, I don't know, I don't remember her name is. It doesn't matter. But like, that quirky, typical heroine that you have in like a romance novel. And I think because I read it right after disliking that one so much, it was really clouding how I was feeling about The Love Hypothesis, because I ended up like DNFing it about the 50% mark. But then I picked it up like a month or two later, and the second half of the book I really enjoyed. Like I was like a solid 4.5, and I think I rounded it down to 3 because I hadn't enjoyed the first half and because I DNF'd it. But I think if I reread it, I might like it more. So I feel like I am an Allie Hazelwood girly. Maybe it wasn't the right time for those original books, but at least I know her paranormal romance does work for me. I am gonna try and reread the Steminist novels because I only read the 2 of them, and then I read the short stories. I never read Love Theoretically, so I'm gonna reread those and see how I feel. But that's not what this video is about. We are reading Mate by Allie Hazelwood, and I'm so excited to get into this. So I'm hopefully going to just rip through this, and then we'll see my thoughts. I'll probably try to update you. I want to say every quarter, but who knows? Maybe I'll just have a thought, I'll have a feeling, and I'll be like, this is super cute, this is super fun, I want to tell you about it. We'll see. It is going to be spoiler free. I don't really know how much spoilers can be in this because like we're all here for the romance. I don't really know what the plot of this is. I feel like it's somewhat the same sort of plot as the first book, because the first book follows Misery and her love interest, whose name I don't remember, but they have a marriage of convenience for like political gain and to like bring the vampires and werewolves together as some like a peace treaty somewhat. And then it seems like in this one, she's I want to say probably the first known human werewolf hybrid, and that's supposed to heal a centuries-long rift between species. And instead, it's made her a target for ruthless political machinations between weres, vampires, and humans, which was kind of the same sort of situation that Misery was in somewhat in the first book because she was being used as a pawn in this. It seems like she's kind of going through the same thing, but as a human werewolf hybrid, we love to see it. Honestly, next book we should get not human, vampire werewolf hybrid. I feel like that's the funnest kind of hybrid, you know? But we'll see how this goes. I'm very much looking forward to it. Let's go make myself a copy, then let's head to Barnes, and maybe we'll get something else. We'll see. We'll see if anything else fits the vibes of the season, and then we will get started on this. All right, guys, we are back from our excursion. I had plans to go to more places, but I then didn't feel like it. So let's talk about what I first talk about what I didn't get. I was really in between getting, Book of Azrael and Her Soul to Take, because those are two popular ones that I had been interested in. I was kind of leaning towards Her Soul to Take, but then I thought that actually I really want to read Nocticadia, which that one's not out yet technically, because I think it's getting traditionally published, and it has like this new hardback with like sprayed edges that's coming out in December, but you can still get the paperback, which I'm pretty sure is the indie paperback on Amazon. So I bought that, and that should be coming tomorrow. because I was really just in for like another kind of, you know, romance, paranormal romance, which I don't know if Knock the Katie is paranormal. I think it might be Dark Academia. I don't know, but it kind of felt like it was the vibes of what I'm trying to attain while reading Mate and reading things like that. So I didn't end up getting Book of Azrael or what was the other one called? Her Soul to Take. But both of those are on Kindle Unlimited. So if I really want to, I can read them. I'm pretty sure Knock the Katie is as well. But I have the option. And then I do actually still have the indie version of Book of Azrael, which the indie version and the traditionally published version are two very different sizes. Like the trad one is almost double the size of the indie one, if I'm remembering correctly. Can I still see Book of Azrael from over here? Yeah. Granted, no, I don't even think Book of Azrael is like big or tall. I'm pretty sure it's the same like dimensions, but it's so much longer in the trad published version. So I don't know what's going on with that. But most likely, if I do end up reading it, I'm probably going to read most of it off of my Kindle or like listen to the audio. So it's not too pressing to get through it. But back to what I did get. Obviously, we went and we got Mate by Allie Hazelwood. I have already returned the other version, so it's gone, and I have this beautiful, stunning version. And luckily they did have, I was worried, I wasn't sure if they were going to have this version and the Barnes & Noble exclusive version, or if they were just going to have the Barnes & Noble exclusive version, but they had both, and they had a whole table set up with Bride and everything, so I'm excited to get this. I'm on chapter 3, I was listening to the audio while I was driving, and while I was like scrolling through my TikTok, a whole bunch of other people are also reading this, and a whole bunch of other people are also listening to the audio, and they're loving it, because it's voiced by Teddy Hamilton, who's a pretty popular romance audiobook narrator. And I am really enjoying it. I did listen to the audio for Bride. I was immersively reading it, so I was listening to the audiobook and following along, which I think is what I'm probably going to do for this one as well, because I am really enjoying the audiobook, and I am really enjoying this so far. Like, I'm already kind of obsessed. It's going so well. I am loving the banter, and I feel like this book very much has that Allie Hazelwood formula, where we have our kind of funny, snarky FMC, and then the MMC is this tall, silent, brooding, emotionally constipated man who could not tell the FMC he likes her if he was being tortured. But, you know, it works sometimes, and it's kind of working for me in this, because I feel feeling he's very much like, they know they're each other's mate. He tells, I think they know it from the beginning, like, and I think we just got like a flashback chapter, which is when he initially tells her, and he's like, this, like, mate bond is really just like an attraction, it's really just, you know, you want a bone, but like, liking each other and loving each other really isn't a part of it. Like, I have no interest in you whatsoever. And obviously I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a reason as to why he's saying all those things, and why he's pushing her away. What they could be, I don't know, but I'm excited to continue reading and find out. So this is going very well so far. And then I did also get Love on the Brain, also by Allie Hazelwood, and I bought this because I'm pretty sure this is the only book of hers that I don't own physically. It's not the only one that I haven't read, because I have read this one, but I didn't own it because I think both The Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain I got through the audiobooks through my library, and I hadn't owned either of them. So I did buy The Love Hypothesis a couple months ago, so I figured let me grab Love on the Brain while I'm already here to grab Mate, and then I can own the whole set. And I'm pretty sure of Allie Hazelwood's works, I have only not read 4, which would be Deep End, Love Theoretically, Not in Love, and Problematic Summer Romance. I think those are the only 4 that I haven't read, because I've read the first 2 books in the STEMinist novels, I've read That Little Bind Up, and then I read Check and Mate. I also listened to the audio for that one, I can't remember what it's called, but it was like, I think they were a gaming company, and it was originally released only on audio. And then actually, I was thinking back, I haven't read, what is it, Hot for Slayer, but I am currently reading that. I'm only on chapter 2, but I am currently reading that. Who knows, maybe after I finish this, I'll probably try and read that, and then we can just wrap it into this vlog. So we have 2 very fall vampire Allie Hazelwood romances all in one vlog. I feel like that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna be reading Mate and Hot for Slayer. That was called, yeah, Hot for Slayer in this vlog. But last up for what I bought at Barnes, we have Carmilla by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, edited by Carmen Maria Machado. And I'm pretty sure this is considered the first ever like vampire novel, and I've wanted to read it for a while. And actually, when I was younger, when I was in like, I don't know, middle school, I think, there was this like web series on YouTube called Carmilla, and it was basically these 2 students who were roommates, and it was all recorded as it was supposed to be like off of their computer's webcam. And I'm pretty sure it was based off of this, because Laura figures out that her roommate is a vampire. Yeah, see, Laura and Carmilla in this. Laura figures it, and then they like fall in love, but then they're also trying to like save their campus because there's other vampire things going on. And I was obsessed with that whole series. And it wasn't until years later that I figured out it was based off of this. So I figured let me read this and get into it. And then also I think I might try and see if I can find that web series because it was so good. I really enjoyed it. If anyone like remembers what I'm talking about, because I remember watching that and then like I had like I have never seen it again on YouTube, so I don't know if it's still up or anything. I have never looked for it. But if anyone else has watched that, let me know because I feel like I'm the only person who knows what this web series is. But that is everything we got today. So now we are going to lock in and hopefully finish this up today. I really just feel like sitting down and like powering through this. I don't want to read anything else right now. I just want to get through this because I'm loving it so far. And like I said, I'm only 2.5 chapters in, so it's going stunningly, swimmingly amazing. All right, guys, I am more than 50% of the way through me. I think I'm at like 57%. I'm eating this up. I'm loving this so fucking much. A lot has happened already. Let's see, my thoughts on this. I am kind of obsessed with Cohen. Like, and you'd think he would kind of suck because I feel like he is very much like her other characters where like he's kind of a dick, but he's funny. So like that works for me. Like, I feel that way. You can be a dick, but you at least need to be funny. And that's Cohen. He's hilarious. And he just kind of gets Serena. Like, you can tell like they like they're meant to be. You know, they just vibe with each other. And I love it. And something I really love about this series in particular that Ali Hazelwood does is that at the beginning of each chapter, there are these like little, I'm about to lose my bookmark. There are these little like snippets from the MMC's POV. She did it in Bride and she's doing it in this. And I love that because technically we don't ever get like full POVs, like we don't get full chapter POVs from the MMC, but we do get those little snippets. And some of them are literally just like one word. Like one of them just said no. And it's always like somewhat related to either, yeah, like this one, it just says, well, fuck. So I love that because I feel like it's giving just enough of his POV and just enough of like what's going on in his head, but it's still kind of like you don't really know. And I love that because I used to really think that I loved dual POV, but I kind of rock with a single POV because I really do kind of enjoy you reading and like you not really knowing what's going on in his head, but you're seeing all of these like the little things that, you know, he shows that like he cares. I like that. And I'm enjoying that in this where we know that he cares based on those like those little itty bitty things we get from him. And then also like what we're seeing in her POV. And so far, like it's basically been what I've said. There's definitely more going on. We're trying to figure out stuff from her past because she grew up with Misery, who's the character from the first book. And she originally was in an orphanage and then she was like Misery's companion for years. So like she doesn't know who her parents are. She doesn't know where she came from. Serena isn't even like, I guess, her actual name. So we're trying to figure out more about her past. We're getting some inklings. There might be some other people who may know who she is. And then we've figured out the reason why he says they can't be together. We've been given a reason for that. But, you know, obviously that's probably not going to pan out. And then also I did just read the first like spicy scene. Very good. Also, I do not remember Miss Hazelwood being that spicy. Like, Mate, I'm pretty sure, at least of what I've read, was the spiciest out of all her works. Because I don't think the Love Hypothesis nor Love Theoretically really went that spicy. And like, was this like the smuttiest, dirtiest thing ever? No. But it was definitely good. And it makes me kind of want to read, was it Deep End and Not in Love? Because I'm pretty sure those are two of her books too that people say are definitely more on the spicier end. So we'll see how I feel about it. But this is going so well, and I knew I'd love it. I knew I would. Like, I'm enjoying this so much. And it really is, and I even said it when I was reading Bride, that it really felt like quintessential paranormal romance. Like, it took me back to when, like, I was first getting into paranormal romance, when I was, like, first getting into reading, like, when I first read Twilight or something like that. Granted, personally, I think these are better than Twilight, even though I love Twilight, I do, but as an adult, I feel like I probably would enjoy these more, even though I haven't reread Twilight anytime recently. But I feel like it gave me that kind of nostalgia feeling of back then when I was reading a lot of like vampire and werewolf books. So, and I feel the same way about this now. It's so good. I'm enjoying it so much. I love this. It is very much 100% a paranormal romance, and I feel like that was my concern when I went to Bride, was that it was going to be like an Allie Hazelwood, because she only ever did like contemporary feminist novels, so I felt like it was going to be like that vibe, and they just like happened to be paranormal creatures. But like, no, this is fully paranormal. It's, the vibes are immaculate, the vibes are perfect. It's going so well. I'm loving this so much. I'm definitely finishing this tonight. I've been going back and forth between just listening to the audiobook and then reading, or immersively reading and following along. So I'm enjoying both. The audiobook, 10 out of 10, very good. The physically reading is very good. My headphones are about to die soon, so I might have to be reading the rest of this physically. We'll see how long I can get them to hold out, but I'm loving this so much. I'm not even surprised. These were the perfect vibes. It's reminding me, I don't know, what is that pack called? I think it's called the Phoenix Pack series by Suzanne Collins. No, I think that's the author of Twilight. I don't know. I'll put it up here. The Phoenix Pack, the first one. Also very good. So if you're looking for more vampires, werewolves, well, more like shifters. I can't remember if there are vampires in that one, but there are shifters, and they're all kinds of shifters. I feel like that series is definitely getting the vibes of this, and like each book follows a different couple, and you know, it's just them falling in love, figuring out their mates. Some of them are fated mates, some of them choose to be mates, because in that world you don't have to be with a person who's like considered your mate. But also a very good choice, I will say. The stories do kind of, she's another one that has like a formula where like you kind of know how the story is going to go. Like, you know who all the players are. As soon as you open up the book, you're like, okay, this person's probably going to do this person's probably going to do that, we're probably going to go here with this. It has a formula, but if you love the formula, it's going to be fun. It's going to eat. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to her. It's like 6:30 right now, and honestly I'll probably finish this around like 10, especially if I start reading physically, because unlike most people, I definitely listen to my audiobooks faster than I physically read. Other people say that their audiobooks are slower for them. No, I could listen to an audiobook at like 2-3 times speed and be chilling. I'm pretty sure my eyesight reading is probably like 1.5, if that. Like, I'm definitely a slow reader, or at least I've become more of a slow reader in my old age of 27. I'll get back to this, and then we will probably check in once I'm done, because I'm probably gonna want to fly through the rest of this and see how we resolve some of these issues, because there's multiple things definitely keeping these two apart, and I really don't see how we resolve either. One of them, I feel like it's just like they got to talk to, you know, the council, the people in charge, and then, you know, that should probably fix it. The other one, I don't know how we fix that. I don't know where we go from here. So I'm interested to see how some things resolve in this, but we'll talk when I'm done. Alright guys, I just finished Mate, and I'm giving it 5 stars. Oh my god, it was so good. I genuinely think I love this even more than I loved Bride, and I gave Bride 5 stars as well. So like, this just, it hit. And that second half, it just hit even more, because like the pining, how much they just wanted to be with each other. And like, there were points of times that like my heart was like breaking for both of them, because they just couldn't be together. Oh, I wanted to cry at some points. I didn't cry at any point, but like, Miss Hazelwood was pulling at my heartstrings. She really was. Oh my god, was this so good. Was this so good. So the second half, I said, I don't know what we said. Oh, there was stuff that was going on with her and like her well-being, and then we were figuring out stuff from her past. We get answers to the stuff in her past, which, funny enough, the things that were going on with her past and that involved, if I had known it had involved that when I went in, I probably would have been less excited about this book, because it's something that like I'm usually not very into, or I just have no interest in. But this worked for me. It really did. And then obviously them just being together. Also, like I said, this book was much spicier than I was expecting. Like, I really don't remember The Love Hypothesis, Love Theoretically, is that what it is? No, Love on the Brain, or Bride being that spicy. Because I mean, Bride was definitely a bit spicy, but I don't remember being so spicy, because this one was definitely pretty spicy. It was so good. I loved it. I don't even know what to say. Like, I loved it. It was so good. I feel like this really makes up for the last like new release I read that I was really hyped for was Thief of Night, and I ended up hating it. And this was a 5-star. Thank God. We had one win. Oh my God, this was so good. I started tabbing it a bit towards the end, which I feel like I did the same thing with Bride, because normally I tab a lot, but like I was just kind of tabbing like certain things that popped up to me, because it was just like, there was one, like I said, we get these like little snippets of his POV. This one said, her laughter adjusts the spin of his atoms. Is that not the sweetest thing you've ever heard in your life? Like, I love them. I do. I love them so much, and I cannot handle it. It makes me kind of want to reread Bride to see if I like feel the same way about Misery and Low. But like, I feel like I'm more attached to them. I don't know, maybe it's just because it's like recency bias, but oh, this was such a hit. It was so good. This is amazing. I loved this. I loved it so much. So I do highly recommend. Now I'm like, I hope she does more books in this series. I hope this isn't like just a 2-part thing. I'm like, I need more of this. I need more of this world. She could do, because you know, like there's a lot of paranormal series where they have like, it's like 40 books. I'd read all 40 if it was out of Hazelwood. Oh, this was so, they were just so cute together. And with how like reluctant Cohen was to get close to her, and just their like banter throughout, and how much you could see them growing closer. I love them. Amazing, amazeballs. Amazing. This is a 5-star series for me. I need it to be multiple books, because each one's been hitting. And this is honestly making me want to read even more of her works. Like, which one could I read next? What do I haven't read? I said I haven't read. Well, here's the thing. I need to read Love Theoretically, but I also feel like I want to reread Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So I think maybe I should read Deep End or Not in Love next. I know Deep End's pretty popular, so I could do that one. But for this video, the next thing I'm going to read, I don't think I have my Kindle out here. Oh, before we get into that, remember how I said I needed to go to Barnes & Noble because I bought the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition and it wasn't coming until Tuesday because they pushed the delivery back? Look what just fucking showed up in the mail. Literally, I opened my door to grab, because I ordered dinner. I opened my door to grab my meal. This was sitting out front, just propped up right at my door. Literally, if I had known this was coming today, might I still not have bought this? I don't know, maybe. Now I have these two, and I mean, I had the same two before, so like, I'm not super mad at it. But like, WTF? Why would you make me seem like I'm not gonna get it and then just send it? Here's the thing, I am glad though that Barnes & Noble had this edition, because I was so impatient I would have just bought this edition as well just so I could read it, and then for the shit to come a couple hours later would piss me off so bad. But now I have both of my copies and I'm so happy to have multiple copies of this. I actually might chance going to Walmart to get a third copy, because I know Walmart has like a complete, I think it's like a swapped edition of this where it's mostly green with black accents. So I might do that because I enjoyed this. Actually, maybe I'll just buy it online so I won't have to actually go to Walmart. This stunning, amazing, stunning. I'm just gonna keep talking about the series. But like I said, I'm now going to read Hot for Slayer, which is a part of, I don't know, Amazon does these things where they have like a set of novellas. I think it's for like each season or something, because I know they did one that was like the Meet Cute series, and I read all of those. And this one, I don't know, I think this is like paranormal romances for the spooky season. And Allie Hazelwood has one, Hot for Slayer, and the main character is a vampire, and the FMC is a vampire, and the MMC is a vampire hunter, and he's been basically hunting her for like, I don't know, years, decades, centuries. They've been doing this little cat and mouse thing, but I guess for some reason he like loses his memories and she has to take care of him, and you know, then they fall in love. So I'm excited to read that and see how that goes, because I feel like that's going to be really good. And I really do feel like slowly but surely I am becoming obsessed with Miss Allie Hazelwood, because when I read the Stemmidus novels, I was, at least the first two and the novellas a part of it, I was like, she's fine. I felt very fine about her. It's kind of the same way I felt fine about Emily Henry when I read a few of her books. But then I read Bride, and I was like, okay, it's a 5-star. She has the potential. I can see it. I was tentative because obviously Bride is very different from her other works and what she's been doing. So I was like, she could be. And then I read Check and Mate, and I did really enjoy Check and Mate. I just didn't really like the third act breakup and like what caused that and like the reaction to that. And I didn't like certain things the FMC sent to the MMC in that book, and I feel like he forgave her very quickly, but I still enjoyed that overall. But this, I feel like has solidified that, like, I love her. I love her so bad. I love it, I love it, I love it. Oh my god, I was obsessed with this. It was so good. It was so good. I can't handle this. So, yeah, read Hot for Slayer, and then who knows, maybe I'll pick up Deep End sometime later. It's not going to be in this video, but who knows, October may be the month of Allie Hazelwood. Good morning, darlings. It is the next day, obviously, and I have started Hot for Slayer by Miss Allie Hazelwood, and I am really enjoying it. I think I'm only on, chapter 3, I believe? Oh, I'm on chapter 5. Look at me, speed racer. I am 30% of the way through. I'm enjoying it. We've just gotten to the part where he's lost his memories, and he's like asking her, like, how do we know each other? And she's like, oh, we're, business acquaintances. Like, in what business? And she's trying, like, not to tell him, because obviously he's a slayer, she's a vampire. And it's going very well so far. In the banter, it feels very similar to what it was in Mate, where it's like, he's like low-key kind of annoyed, but it's funny. And I'm just really enjoying it so far. And I think it's giving me exactly what I needed post reading Mate. So I am really, really enjoying it. It's what I needed. The how he lost his memories was definitely a little convoluted, because I think it happened in like chapter 2. It's like a whole thing. But like I can already tell, because I feel like in a lot of Allie Hazelwood's books, it's the guy has like always been into our FMC. It's just he hasn't shown it in the right ways. And in fact, the ways he's like trying to show it, when you find out like the reason behind it, you're like, oh, he was actually trying to protect her, or he was trying to be there for her. This is how he showed that he cared. But when you see it from like the heroine's point of view, he seems like a dick. And I feel like that's very much par for the course with Miss Allie Hazelwood. And I don't know if that's what's going to happen in this, but like with the way things are happening, because he very much tells her, like, they've been basically doing this cat and mouse thing for forever. And in like I think it was the prologue or the first chapter, he says, no one's allowed to kill you but me. Because like there's been a few times where she's gotten into some situations where someone was trying to kill her and like he would save her. And he said, no one's allowed to kill you but me. And I'm like, but do you though? Are you gonna kill her? Because it's been centuries. This is, they've known each other since the 1100s. And he hasn't killed you yet, girl. And he's supposed to be this big bad vampire hunter. Okay. But anyways, I'm super duper enjoying this. I will check back in with you probably when I'm done, because like I said, I'm only 30 pages in. It's 90 pages, so I've got another 60 pages to get through. And then we're going to wrap up this here vlog. Okay, I'm 53% of the way through this book, but like low-key, I feel like this man didn't actually lose his memories. I don't know, like we're still very much getting them just like in her apartment and him being confused about things and also suspicious about things, because obviously she's a vampire, so she doesn't exactly act like a normal human. And he's like, well, why is this happening? And like, well, why would that happen? Like, he's asking a lot of questions and she's like trying to bullshit him and clearly not very good at it. But like, I feel like I'm convinced this man didn't lose his memories and he's using this like to his advantage, because I guess in this world, like vampires don't sleep. So she doesn't have a bed. And he's like, well, obviously, you sleep on the couch. She's like, oh yeah, I sleep on the couch. So like, you can take the couch. I'll, see if I have an air mattress or something. He's like, no, it's fine. We'll just sleep on the couch together. She's like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, okay. Because you cannot tell me a normal person, like, yeah, let's just share the couch. And I have a feeling this couch isn't that big. So that's why I'm like, I feel like he didn't lose his memories. And he very much is just like, yeah, let's share the couch. Why not? Two nemesis. I like, he doesn't remember anything. So like, why'd it be weird? Okay, sir. Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading. Well, my lunch is about to be here, and then I'm gonna keep reading, and I'm probably gonna finish this up within the next like 30 minutes to an hour-ish. We'll see. Alright guys, I just finished Hot for Slayer, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna tell you like the outcomes of it, because I gave you some theories of when I was in the middle. I'm not gonna tell you like if I was right or not, but it was very, very good. And I think it definitely does kind of follow the Allie Hazelwood trademark, which I don't feel like that's a spoiler. Like, all of her books are like that. So if you've read one of her books, you kind of know like the vibes that you're getting. But I still thought it was really good. I really, really enjoyed it. Even though it was so short, it was still solid. And I will say, I think Allie Hazelwood's humor works for me because I really do love the banter that we get between our FMC and MMC in both books. And I just think it really works for me. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I've read other things from her before, and it really wasn't until I can't remember what that book is called, but it was the one about video games where I was really like, oh, I really like this. I really like what she's doing. I really like the dynamic between the characters. And I did enjoy it in The Love Hypothesis and Love on the Brain, but I remember like the beginning of those books being like kind of irritated because I wasn't really liking how the MMC was being written. But like now that I've read more, I'm like, actually, maybe I do like it. Maybe I do kind of vibe with it. I'm here for it. And these two have just like solidified that like I think I do love Allie Hazelwood. I think I'm into her. I think it's meant to be. I may be an Allie Hazelwood girly, which I feel so good about this because Allie Hazelwood and Emily Henry were two authors that are very, very popular. And I've read so much from both of them. Like, I've read all of Emily Henry's adult works. I haven't read any for YA yet. And I've read a good chunk of Allie Hazelwood. Like I said, I still have a few left to read. But for both of them, I was enjoying them. But I wanted to, like, love them. And it seems like so many other people loved them. And I was like, I like them, but can't say I love them. And this year, I read Happy Place by Emily Henry, which was my first 5-star from her. And I can say I do love Emily Henry. And now with Allie Hazelwood, even though I did already have a 5-star in Bride, I was tentative because that was my only 5-star and it was so different from her other stuff. But again, while Mate is still different and it's not the same as the other two, I still feel like I see it. I see it now with Allie Hazelwood. So I am more willing, I think, to read some of her other stuff. Like, I'm not even willing. Like, I really want to read more of her other stuff. So I think I might go and pick up Deep End because I do have the audio for that and I have the physical book. So I might immersively read it the same way I did with Mate, or who knows, I might move on to something else. I did just get, I did mention you guys that I bought Nocticadia yesterday and it just came in the mail like an hour ago. So I have this, so I could read this. This is a chunky one though, but I do feel like this one is kind of the vibes of the season. I really have no idea what this is about. I feel like I've just heard a lot about this book and then Fairytale and what's that other one? Anathema. I feel like those 3 books I've just heard so much about, and I really don't know. Like, I feel like I'm getting the synopsis of each one kind of mixed up. Because, Fairytale, one of them takes place at a school. I think it's this one. Is this one? It's like a school. Dark Academia. Yeah, this one, Dracadia University. I don't know. But I love the cover. This is, like I said, the indie edition. Because this is getting traditionally published. So this edition isn't going to be available soon, so that's also one of the reasons why I snatched it up. So I think I might give this one a shot, and then if I like this, who knows, maybe I'll try reading Fairytale, maybe I'll try reading Anathema, maybe I'll finally pick up, what's the other one I was looking at, Book of Azrael. However, that's a series, so I don't know if I have the motivation to commit to a series. I know there's only 3 out right now, I think, and then I also think that series is supposed to be like 5 to 7 books, so I may hold off and just wait until there's more books out. But then that also may make me not want to read it, because if it's like 7 books about the same couple, I feel like after 3 books I stop caring. But anyways, that's it for today's vlog. I am rambling. I hope you enjoyed reading this. I hope you guys read Mate, and I hope you love it just as much as I did. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!